Joining from Los Angeles, California, I'm Dr. Ryan Ava. Politics is dominating the upcoming World Cup match between the United States and Iran. As many of you may already know, the brave Iranian men and women have been protesting the fascist and barbaric Islamic regime continuously since the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in morality police custody back in September of this year. Since then, more than 15,000 have been arrested and more than 300 killed, of which more than 50 are reported to be minors. To show solidarity with the Iranian people and in particular the Iranian women protesting in the streets of Iran for basic human rights, the United States Soccer Federation erased the Islamic regime's emblem from the Iranian flag in his social media post. In response, the Islamic regime and its very apparently fragile ego called for the United States to be expelled from the World Cup. Today, the US team manager tried to walk back this statement and attempted to bring the focus back to the game itself.
The staff, the players had no idea. Of course, our thoughts and our people, the whole country, the whole team, everyone, but our focus is on this match.
USA Today sports columnist Christine Brennan is here. Christine, were you surprised by the team manager's response today?
I was. You know, own it. To be able to say that you're for the Iranian people, you're for Iranian women, you are for the protesters, that's a good thing. And I was surprised that the U.S. coach basically, walked it back because it's already been out there. It's the U.S. national team, the men's national team, it's U.S. soccer. This has been their whole World Cup. It's been about issues, about talking about societal change, talking about political issues. There's no reason to back away from it now, so that did surprise me a little.
And this isn't politics like tax policy, right? I mean, this is about whether or not women in Iran have basic human rights, whether the regime is correct for shooting protesters, peaceful protesters in the street. It's not politics per se.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the U.S. is on the right side of this issue. U.S. soccer has been on the right side of this issue. Frankly, Jake, when the Iranian team did not sing its national anthem in its first match, it was also protesting. So the U.S. is actually on the side of the Iranian team,
right?
In the sense that they're protesting. And of course, this is a U.S. men's national team that willingly gave up money so that the women would have equal pay. That was earlier this year. There are a lot of issues that these guys are on the right side.
Yeah, own your righteousness, for God's sake.
Exactly.
A security source tells CNN, you talked about the Iranian team not singing the national anthem, presumably protesting the regime, supporting the people in the streets. Security source tells CNN Iran has threatened the families of the national soccer team. How does that impact them, do you think?
I think when they go home, that's not a good situation. And what courage they showed in not singing that anthem, knowing that. They knew that from the get-go. They didn't have to be told that. They knew that they could be in jeopardy. Obviously, whoever wins this big match tomorrow, Iran or the United States, the winner moves on to the round of 16. The loser goes home. The U.S., of course, and American sports fans, many watching us right now, they don't want the U.S. to lose. But think about what happens when the Iranian team goes home and faces potential penalties, who knows, punishment, what they're going to get for having protested that first match.
So Jason Rezaian, he's the Washington Post journalist who was imprisoned in Iran unfairly, now free, thankfully. He writes, quote, "This moment deserves attention, and no global stage is bigger than the World Cup. Billions will be watching. The longer Iran stays in, the more recognition its people and their movement will receive." Obviously, again, we're all rooting for Team USA here at the lead, but does that motivate the Iranian players, do you think? Do you think that we need to stay in this because we represent Iranian pride, but not pride in the regime, pride in who we really are?
I think it does motivate them. And frankly, you'd probably ask the U.S. players, they want to win desperately, but the idea of having the spotlight, that glare of that spotlight, Jake, focusing on these issues for another few days, that would be fantastic. And of course, being in Qatar, all of these issues in that country, LGBTQ rights, the migrant workers and all the people who were killed building these stadiums, having to have the event in December, in November, December, not in the summer because of the heat, the money that was paid under the table. All of these issues come to light when you do have an event like this in that location. Just as, say, the Beijing Olympics, you and I and others were talking about human rights in Beijing back in February because the Olympics were there. So I do think that the location and the fact that you can stay in that spotlight as long as possible can be very helpful.
What's at stake for the U.S. in this match?
You know, the U.S. men have obviously not been as good as the U.S. women, and they would like to be able to say, hey, we've moved on to the round of 16. They've done it before, but it's been a while. It's a young team. It's a new generation of American men who are very much pro-women, pro-social issues, cultural issues, and I think that they would love to make a statement on the field as well.
It's great to see soccer bringing attention to these issues of freedom and equality. Christine Brennan, good to see you.
If you support my work, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so you wouldn't miss any of my new videos. Thanks for watching.